Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about the second trimester. Right now I'm currently 28 weeks, so I just finished the second trimester. I feel like it was so long, but it also went super quick. So I'm going to be talking all about the symptoms, all about everything that happens during the second trimester. So if you guys are expecting, or if you just like watching pregnancy videos, then definitely keep watching. If you guys are new here, my name is Kylie, and I'm currently pregnant with our first baby boy due in January of 2021. So I'm a first-time mom, so this is my first time doing all this stuff, being pregnant, going through all of the pregnancy symptoms. So hopefully if this is your first time, you find this video helpful. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you can watch more pregnancy videos, and also give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. And also follow me on Instagram. I'll have it up here for you guys so you guys can stay more up to date with my daily life and things that I'm doing on a more daily basis. In the last couple of videos, my puppy had a cone on. She does not want to be held right now, but she is doing a lot better. You don't have the cone anymore, huh? You're feeling better? Are you feeling better? So without further ado, let's get into the second trimester symptoms. So I don't have these listed on my phone by week or anything. I just kind of listed them as I remembered them and as they happened. So I don't have like a week by week step, but I do have two apps that I really like that have kind of week by week symptoms to expect. The first app is called Pregnancy Plus, I believe, and I really like this one. Every week it gives you like a size reference for the baby, symptoms you'll be feeling that week, things you can do to like help you feel better, and like what stage the baby is at development, which is really, really cool. And then the other app is called The Bump, which also has very similar features, but I like having two just because sometimes they have different information, so it's fun to read all about what's happening that week. So definitely recommend downloading those apps. They have definitely a more precise breakdown of the symptoms week by week. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is leg cramps, because I feel like this one was the one that kicked on the earliest in the second trimester. I'm someone who had never had leg cramps or like Charlie horses before in my life, like very, very rarely. I started getting them so bad, especially in my sleep. Like during the day I was totally fine, but it was like right in the early morning, like when I was kind of waking up, I would get the worst leg cramps I have ever had in my life. Like seriously, like I woke my husband Jacob up screaming a few times because it hurt so bad. Definitely keep your eye out for that. I asked my doctor about it and she said there's not really that much you can do. Just try and drink a lot of water, not stand on your feet a ton. But I felt like I was doing both of those things and I was still getting them. I think sometimes it just has to do with like the position of the baby, and there's nothing you can do. That was definitely a symptom that was not very fun. Then the next one I have on here is heartburn, which I barely have experienced so far. It was maybe like 1 or 2 times. I felt like a really hard pressure on my chest, and it was usually before or after dinner. So I know that's something a lot of pregnant people can experience, so you can watch out for that, but it's not something that I had much experience with, at least so far. And then the next one is that it gets super hard to just stand up on your feet. I would have to take breaks if I was standing up doing dishes or doing laundry or like cooking in the kitchen. I would have to take breaks because standing up on my feet just hurts so much. So definitely make sure you guys take breaks, take a seat when you need to, because it's not just you. Standing up can really hurt sometimes. The next one is being super thirsty, which I just took a big sip of my water because I am always thirsty. Like I wake up in the morning and I need a whole glass of water. Before I go to bed, I need a huge glass of water. I just feel like I'm always drinking water. So I know that's good and I'm staying hydrated, but I never feel like I'm satisfied. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I'm just always thirsty, which also brings me to the next one, which is having to pee a lot. You already have to pee a lot before drinking a lot of water because the baby is obviously resting on your bladder. Drinking a lot of water does not help that. You're gonna be peeing every 5 minutes. The other day, I went to the bathroom before we went to the store. We got to the store and I had to go so bad, and it's like a 5-minute drive. So you can't really do anything about it. You're just gonna have to get used to always knowing where the bathroom is. Yeah, it's not very fun. Also going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. is also not very fun. I probably have to go to the bathroom at least once or twice in the middle of the night, which kind of brings me to my next one, which is sleeping. And like I was saying, your sleep will never be the same. 1, because you have to pee a ton. 2, because you have this huge belly now. 3, because you can't sleep on your stomach or your back anymore, so you have to sleep on either side. And then as you get bigger and bigger, it gets harder and harder to switch between sides. Your sleep is just gonna be uncomfortable. Everybody that I tell that to is like, it's preparing you for the baby. So it definitely is preparing you for late nights and not a lot of sleep. That is another symptom that definitely happens in the second trimester, and I'm definitely seeing to get worse in the third. Okay, the next one is pregnancy brain, which is kind of like a myth or an old wives' tale, I guess. I can definitely say it's a real thing because there have been so many times where I've forgotten something I never would have forgotten, that I mess something up. Like when I'm making dinner, I forget to put something in the recipe, or I've put things in the fridge that don't go there. I've taken things out of the fridge and put them in the pantry that don't go there. So yeah, the pregnancy brain is definitely real, and you're just gonna have to make lots of lists on your phone, write things literally on your hand so you don't forget them if they're that important. And trust me, you won't regret it, because sometimes I'll think I'll remember things and then I forget them and I regret it. So as soon as you remember it, write it down on your hand, or like make it the wallpaper on your phone, and that will definitely help you a lot. The next one is Braxton hicks contractions, which are basically early labor contractions. And I know a lot of pregnant women experience these. I definitely feel like I have. I wouldn't consider them to be like extreme at all, but I definitely feel like I've experienced some cramps that feel like I'm on my period, which obviously I'm not. Your stomach just feels super tight. It literally feels like period cramps, kind of, at least to me. But again, mine do not last super long, and I've maybe had them like a handful of times, not very much. But I know this is something a lot of women can experience more frequently in their pregnancy. So if you're experiencing that a lot, make sure you tell your doctor, because I know it can be harmful to the baby, and it can be bad if you're experiencing it a lot. But again, I haven't had much experience with it yet. The next one I feel like I've mentioned before, but it's having swollen hands, and my wedding ring has not fit since probably like 20 weeks pregnant, maybe earlier than that. It just started feeling super tight, and I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get it off. So I just took it off, put it on my bedside table, and it'll be there for when it fits me again. But I just have this like Enzo ring. I think I got it off Amazon. It's just like a little silicone ring. It makes me feel a lot better. It just slides on super easily, and my hands don't feel super tight and big, because they already feel super big, and then having a wedding ring on just makes it worse. So also, people have said that your feet can get swollen too. I haven't really experienced that yet, I don't feel like. I try to stay off my feet as much as I can and then elevate them when I'm sitting. So definitely try that out if your feet have been swollen, but I definitely have more of it in my hands. The next thing is catching your breath. You experience a lot of shortness of breath in pregnancy, and this can start happening actually really early on, even in the first trimester. But in the second trimester, it definitely gets worse, because your belly's getting bigger, the baby's getting bigger, and it's just harder to do everyday things. My husband and I live in a 3-story townhouse, and every flight of stairs is like painful. Going all the way downstairs and upstairs is like one of the hardest things to do, and it's ridiculous. It makes me feel so silly, but it's like I get to the top of the stairs and I need to take 2 minutes to like breathe, sit down, catch my breath. Even talking and sitting here filming these videos gets really hard because I just can't catch my breath. That's something you experience throughout the whole pregnancy, even in the third trimester, first trimester, the whole time. So I guess you just have to get used to it. Okay, moving on to something more fun. So I actually got to do a 3D ultrasound during my second trimester. And this is something you do separately from your doctor's office. I believe most doctor's offices don't do this, and like insurance usually doesn't cover it. So my husband and I went to a 3D ultrasound clinic and we got to do one, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys go do one. I think we're gonna do one more as it gets closer to baby's due date, but I feel like the 25-week-ish time is like the perfect time to do it, because they're mostly fully developed and they look like a normal baby, and it's so cute to see their little face in there and picture them. So definitely recommend going to do that if you have it available to you, and you seriously won't regret that. Another thing that happened in the second trimester was my husband and I finally decided on our baby's name. Well, at least the first name and the last name, obviously, but we're still undecided on the middle name. I feel like as long as we have that first name locked down, I'm like way more at ease. At least he'll have a first name. And then lastly, at the very end of my second trimester, around 26, 27 weeks, I got my first stretch marks, and I had been doing super well. I hadn't seen any up until that point, and then it was like all of a sudden I had like a ton on my lower stomach. I knew I was going to get them because I have them other places and it's just in my genetics, so I was expecting to get them, but it is sad to see them. But I know I won't care once the baby's here. It'll just be a reminder of his time in my belly. I did mention the lotion I've been using in a few of my other videos, so I'll link that down below for you guys. I've been using it every single morning and I need to start doing it at night too, but I feel like it does really help a lot even though I still do have stretch marks. So I'm gonna keep doing that more frequently, see if that helps. But again, I know it's just in my genetics and it's gonna happen, so oh well. And then very lastly, I will give you guys a bump date. Even though technically I'm in the third trimester right now, I'll give you guys a 28-week bump update. So here it is. Much bigger than last time. I do have a big sweater on right now, but feeling very large, very big, but it's so cute to see him growing. One last thing I forgot to mention was also kicking. I feel like in the second trimester is kind of when you start to feel all of the kicks happening, and they just get more and more frequent as the pregnancy goes on. So that is something that is so fun and I love it. I feel like it's just so special to feel them kicking inside you, and also having your husband feel them is just so fun. So that is one of the perks of the second trimester for sure. Okay, so that is everything I have to mention about the second trimester. If you guys think I missed anything, definitely comment them down below, and I would love to read all the symptoms you guys have been feeling. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more pregnancy related videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.